Motorheads, thank you for clicking on House Call with Doc Love on Race22.com, presented by Black Acid Apparel. Check him out on Facebook, Black Acid Apparel. Today I'll be connecting with Layne Riggs out of Bahama, North Carolina, driver of the number 99 per year Tank Lines Ford in the late model stock car division of the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour. Layne was born in 2002 and was racing by 2013 at the Orange County Speedway located in Rougemont, North Carolina, just like the old man. Layne got his first career stock car victory in August of the same year in the pure stock division. And he also whistled through the lower division, racking up Rookie of the Year awards and victories, finally making it to late model stock car racing action in 2016, again winning Rookie of the Year. Plus, he had 4 victories in the late model stock cars, 4 poles, and finished second in the championship points at Orange County Speedway. In 2017, Layne joined the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour full-time. He has 44 career starts, 3 victories, 5 poles, 21 top 5s, and 29 top 10s. So, Layne, where you been hanging out during the peak of the summer?
Beach, lake, and anything cool you can keep your body in to stay out of the 95-degree weather, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been hot. I've been covering some races on the weekend, this past weekend at Hickory. It seemed like it was hotter than the Mojave Desert. I'm telling you, it was a hot one out there. So how was
right.
That was your senior trip at the beach, right?
Yeah, we had a senior trip. We had 2 family trips. We went to the lake. Like I said, we've been enjoying this second break. Race car, to be honest, has just been sitting there ever since Hickory. And then the other day we said it's race weekend and we got to get it ready. And we ended up going to the track and testing today and got some pretty good data. It's just, like I said, it's just so hot outside. It's hard to really tell what you're going to get in a nighttime race. So
right.
Just really got to base off the last time I was in the car was at Hickory. So just got to base off my feel and my problems, and we worked around it. And like I said, even when you got a perfect car, you're not going to have any fast lap times. So you really just got to get the feel, and when it feels comfortable to you, you know you got a pretty good car.
So on a day like today, when you know it's going to be hot, the sun was bearing down, you're not going to burn up some new tires. So when you go today like today to test, you're not really trying to go as fast as you can. You're basically trying to make sure you don't have any leaks in your engine, in your transmission, in your rear end. Make sure you don't have anything bent. Is that kind of what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, pretty much. We just, like I said, the car's been sitting there for a while and hadn't ran, and just wanted to shake it down, get my feel. And even though it's only been a month, you could get a little bit rusty. So just got back, and like I said, I've actually never been to Hickory before and tested. I've only actually ever been at Hickory and practiced on the Cars Tour weekends, and I've raced the Cars Tour about 4 or 5 times before at Hickory. So this is the first time we ever went to a closed private test and got to run pretty much as many laps as we wanted to, and got to try some stuff we normally wouldn't try the day before a race, or try some stuff that's out of the box that may or may not work, and most of them obviously wouldn't work. So like it was a true test day today, just pure testing. Nothing, not trying to make any speed, not trying to make any world records, just trying to get comfortable.
Yeah, there you go. That's it shows you've had 9 starts at Hickory. Is that right?
9 sounds a little high to me, but it would surprise me. We've been racing there ever since I started racing in the Cars Tour back in 2016.
Well, yeah, I
know
guess,
we go pretty much twice a year.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and I think one year they went 3 times maybe. But yeah, I'm showing 9 starts, 1 pole, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and not too shabby if you ask me. But I know you want to get some markers there in the win column, and that's what it's all about here, no doubt.
Sure. Yeah, definitely looking for a win. It's been a little while. I know we've had some pretty strong runs. At Ace, it was so close, and that silver hurts the worst, I tell you. Especially as close good of a finish as it was. So it's been eating on me, wanting to get back in racing. It's really been tough. And a lot of local races have been going around, and a lot of people ask me, Layne, why aren't you running any of these races? I personally don't feel like it's worth it going up there possibly tearing your car up when you only got 2 cars to be able to go run, and at the same time you're the points leader, so you don't want to take any chances there. So, like I said, we've been enjoying the lake more than anything, the beach, and kind of been having this second break and taking a relaxer to get ready, because I know the Cars Tour, with the schedule and everything as it is right now, we're going to be racing a lot of weekends in a row. We need to have both cars ready to go at any time.
And plus, and for you guys and the guys that go with you, you don't want to burn them out either. So it's good to get them some rest and get them relaxed and get them re-energized, because it's about to it's going to be hot coming up in August as they head towards up in Virginia, and now this coming weekend in Hickory. So it's possibly could be another burner. Hell's Porch coming up this weekend.
It is, that's so
sure. So hopefully not, though, because I ain't skinny no more. So maybe it'll help me lose a pound or 3. What do you think?
I'll tell you, a race suit in a 100-some degree car, running 125 laps, it might not sound like a lot, but it sure is. The next day, you feel like crap no matter what.
Now, your dad was a short track ace, in his day, and made it up to the highest level. What was he able to share with you about racing at Hickory? Because he didn't really race at Hickory a whole lot during his short track days.
No, before we ever went to Hickory, he had no pointers, no nothing he remembered. He never went to Hickory.
Yeah.
The closest he went, he said he went to Tri-County one time, which is a few miles from Hickory.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up winning the race there, or something like that. He got the pole or something. But, yeah, Hickory was a new animal for us, and just had to watch video and learn. And like I said, when I first started, I think my 3rd or 4th race ever away from Orange County, our home local track, I ran there for probably 3 years before I traveled anywhere else, because I wasn't 14 yet. I couldn't travel.
Right.
So that was one of the first tracks I went to besides Orange County. It's definitely got more character than any other track we go to. You can run up high, you can run down low. It's got the most unique bumps I've ever seen in my life. It's like going into turn 1, like a staircase. You fall down a staircase going in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin Thaxton, who normally runs South Boston, was at Hickory this past weekend. He said that was the first time he had ever been there. And he's like, holy moly, this place is unlike anything he's ever raced at, and really opened his eyes. And he said, all I can do is fill up a notebook and hope I can hit it next time. But he said he had fun. He said it's a fun track because it's not easy. And that's what a lot of folks say. Is that kind of how you look at it? It's a challenge?
Yeah, for sure. It's a challenge. You got to search for the grip. Some weekends the bottom's strong, some weekends the top's strong. Even, from the beginning of the race to the end of the race, it changes. It's almost kind of like a dirt track, the way the characteristic is, where it changes, the lines change, and you got to change your driving style depending on how your car is. So it's definitely a driver's track in my opinion. Like I said, I like the character. I like how it's got a lot of character and it's real worn out, but at the same time, I mean, you do have to save tires, but it's not like Myrtle Beach where you got to go 15 mile an hour to not burn your tires up. So you can run pretty hard, but then at the same time, you got the characteristics, and you also got the strategy, how much you save, how much to go. It's like I said, it's a good medium track that's a driver's track at the same time. I'm a big fan of Hickory.
Yeah, I'm very partial to Hickory myself. Been covering the weekly races there over the past several weekends, and it seemed like this year the guys that's been there, every year for the last several years, talking about this year. The track is different than most years, that they're struggling with grip, and the grip is in different, lines that they normally don't usually take. So the guys that don't normally go up high are having to go up high and things like that. They're saying that this year the track surface is just different than most years. So it's throwing everybody for a loop, even the guys that race there each and every week. So it's throwing a lot of guys for a loop. So it's a tough old bird to get a grip on. So it's a challenge for sure, it seems like. But very pleased to see Layne Riggs have some success right out of the box this year. You showed some speed right out of the box at Southern National Motorsports Park with a good qualifying effort. Qualified second, finished fifth. I mean, right away you had to first say, you and your crew and your dad and everybody, all right, there's hope this year. We finally shaked that bad luck that followed us for the last 2 years, with a great qualifying and a great finish. So you guys had to have hope that there was off to a good season, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. And over this off season, we worked pretty hard and went testing a lot more than we have before. We just 2019 was by far the hardest and toughest luck race season I've ever had. It hurt my confidence a lot.
Yeah.
I had 5 DNFs in a row at one point, and just feel like I couldn't catch a break. So when at the end of the year we ended up winning the Rodney Cook Classic, and that was a spirit booster that was one of the last races we ran in the year. So
right.
Going into the off season, we knew that you love that winning feeling. You just want to do it again. So like I said, we worked over the off season. We were fast at Southern National, and we're running pretty good and finished 5th. Ended up going to the back and finished 5th with no roof on the car. So we said, if we can do that, we got pretty good speed.
That's
we went
right.
ace and almost won it, and it was so close. And at Hickory, we had a good car, and just well, I wouldn't say a good car. At the end, it was uncontrollable car.
Right.
But like I said, we went and worked and did the best we can with what we had, and just trying to dial it in for this weekend.
Yeah, and doing real good, looking sharp each and every time you hit the track, and very, very proud of, and from coming back into the sport after being away, and getting to see you grow from the time I first got to see you, wheel the race car, and to see the growth from you and your team is really neat to see, on how you handle yourself and the race car, and the growth, and to see you be able to handle the longer races. How hard was it to go from running the shorter races, weekly, to run the longer, 125, 150 laps with the Cars Tour, like with the longer races?
Yeah, it was tough, mainly on a strategy standpoint of saving tires and putting yourself in the right track position. Physically, I'm perfectly fine with the long races. I like long races. It brings out who's really going to be there at the end. So, it was just, running at Orange County Speedway, that pretty much has very little wear on the tires. So we could run pretty much as hard as we wanted to in those 75-lap races local, and then jump straight into 150-lap races at tracks you got to save tires at. So it was I knew what I was getting into, and I had an idea of what I needed to do, but you can't beat. It's hard to get that knowledge right out of the bat.
Yeah.
Going from Orange County, going to these different tracks, running with the stiffest competition, I'd say, in the whole country. Especially, late model stocks is the stiffest competition, but I wouldn't be scared to say it's the stiffest short track competition there is around. So going there and then running against the best of the best and having good runs and being able to run around them made me really learn a lot about myself as a driver and us as a team, and really be able to make our notebook a lot deeper and be able to grow.
Yeah, the talent pool as far as the skill set of these drivers that you're racing with, week in and week out, is absolutely some of the best in the country. No doubt about it. Corey Heim, look what he's done. Even up in the ARCA series, had a very good car, very good run until a left front tire was going flat there in the end of the race. Jared Fryer, look at the generations of great drivers that are in his family. He's going to be tough. Connor Mozak, he's really shown to be strong this year. Nolan Pope at Hickory has come on strong, and he's right in the tire tracks of the likes of Josh Berry, Bobby McCarty. What else needs to be said? Two-time champion. Brandon Pierce is really coming on strong this year and completed all the laps. Gage Painter is tough at Hickory. Deke McCaskill, legendary short track racer in the Carolinas. His only sore spot is Hickory. He does have one win there. He's the only guy that started out of the top 5 to win there, and that's legendary right there. So,
that's right.
If anybody can do it again, he can. So, this little Jonathan Schaefer has completed all the laps at the, so far this year, rookie with the Bobby's teammate there. So, not a lot of folks are mentioning his name, but that little fella's completed all the laps. So, and he's getting stronger and stronger each outing. So, you just go down the list, and there's no easy pass. So
that's right. And
so
to
you
me,
got to keep pushing.
That's why I run the Cars Tour, and being able to win and be competitive in this race is just the most rewarding thing of all.
Absolutely. We are joined by points leader in the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour, late model stock cars, Layne Riggs, the number 99 per year Tank Lines Ford driver. Layne Riggs here at the Race 22 Productions recording studio, having some fun here, doing a pre-race show for this week's race at the Hickory Motor Speedway coming up this weekend. So we're excited to finally be talking about a race week for the Cars Tour. It's the race number 4 for both the super late models and the late model stock cars. The track has been kind of dicey back and forth. 1 week it's pretty fast. 2 weeks ago they were within, I would say, maybe a little over a half a click away from track. The NASCAR track qualifying record, which is where's it at? I got it here. Austin McDaniel's a 14.666. They were down in the 14.70s. Josh Berry turned 2 weeks ago, and then this past weekend they were up in the high 80s. So the track record for the Cars Tour, Bradley McCaskill, 2019, rounded a 14.735. Now, if his heat keeps up and we get a lot of rubber laid down on Friday, if they get a bunch of guys out there, 2 different divisions, and a lot of cars laying a bunch of rubber down Friday in practice, you think the track will gum up and get fast and maybe start pushing those kind of times in qualifying?
I tell you, it'd be really surprising for me the way the track temp is and just how slick. And I mean, you should have felt it today. It was absolutely crazy feeling. I felt like you were on some dirt. But I remember last year what made everybody so fast is they put tar down all on the track, and it picked everybody up like a half a second instantly, instant grip.
Oh, wow.
And everybody had to free their cars up because a lot of people actually didn't know that. But and I don't think they even told any of the drivers till the race weekend or so when they let everybody start testing. But they put tar down. The track was like amazingly fast, and I think that's where the track records came from, and I think it'd be really hard to beat it unless they did that again. And I actually enjoyed it like that. I think the Cars to Race was a race after they did the tar, and I remember it being super fast, super fun, and you could run pretty hard, and it didn't wear your tires out as much. So I wouldn't mind to see him do it again, but I know this weekend it's going to be hard to get that fast. If he did, it's somebody that's going to definitely win the race.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. That's good information. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this the coming weekend would have been the Throwback Race, and of course they made the decision to not do that, and it did make sense because of the COVID and a lot of the guests that that the series had, as Mr. McNally talked about, when I spoke with him in a podcast that's out there. A lot of the guests are 50 or 60 or older, and a lot of the fans want to come and hug them and things like that if we were able to have fans. And, we have to have the social distancing and things like that with our older folks to be careful and things like that. So you didn't want to put those folks in danger. And then plus, with, a lot of people with jobs and sponsorships and things like that are tighter, you didn't want to have folks spending extra money that's unnecessary on the wraps and the special this and special that. So it did. It made a lot of sense to not do that this year because it's just not feasible. Plus, if it does come down to the last minute, we can have fans because it's still on the fence right now as we're sitting right here on a Monday. if we can't have fans, then there's no sense in doing it. So, so I think it was the best decision to not do it. So this weekend, they're both running the 125 laps for the late model stocks and 125 laps for the super late models here at Hickory this coming weekend. So, does that does that really change the mindset, whether it's 150 or 200 laps or 136 or 138 laps? Does that really play in the mindset at all?
No, not really. We're going to set the cars up, and we're pretty much going to race the same. Might be a little bit more saving, maybe a half a tenth slower pace in the race just to try and have that extra 15, 20 laps of speed at the end, but I doubt it's going to play a big factor at all.
I gotcha. All right, now let's talk about the racetrack itself. What is your most favorite part of the racetrack? When you're on the racetrack, when you're going around the track, what is your favorite part of the racetrack?
Favorite part or most trickiest part? Because the trickiest part is everywhere.
Well, that's too easy of an answer. That's why I asked it that way. What's your favorite part?
I got to kind of talk it through to think about it, but going into one, you feel like you need to have a mouth guard so your teeth don't rattle against each other because you're jumping down in the corner, and the car comes about a foot off the ground, and it slams the ground and comes back, and it looks like the cars have hydraulics on them. And then you get into one, and it's got the most load, and then off of two is pretty smooth, and you can lay the power down. I'd probably say off of two, you can really open her up and
that where you can get the
lay
power
it down.
down?
It's got pretty good banking, I would say. Yeah, for sure. Especially on the high side.
Gotcha. Now, see, I don't think a lot of folks realize how bowed the backside really is, do they?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dog leg a little bit. And now you said that, it made me really think about it. But, yeah, it's a dog leg. And then you go down to three, and it's just complete opposite end of the track. It's really flat compared to 1 and 2. And you go off into 3, and it's actually got the track goes uphill, and then it drops down. So that really throws a loop. And then you come off of 4, and it's just like going into 1.
Is
all
that,
over the place, cars jumping up and down.
Is that kind of like it's porpoising?
Exactly. The hydraulics are kicking in.
Is that why you see more people do solo spins or spin out in 3 and 4 because they kind of get too much momentum going into 3?
Yeah, and actually we were talking about today, it almost kind of reminds me of Wilkesboro a little bit. I think,
Gotcha.
I swear the back stretch is actually going uphill, and I think the front stretch is going downhill, just like Wilkesboro is after looking at it. But, yeah, in the 3, it's got this odd bump, and even when you got a good setup car, it's usually pretty sketchy going across it, so that would definitely cause single-car spin.
Now, see, if I was driving the high-powered cars, I probably would do that every lap. But I want to tell you, I want to share this with you, Layne. Now, it's been many, 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 many years since I was able to fit into a race car. But I want to share this with you. I do have the Hickory Motor Speedway track record for the Honda Element class. I broke the record. I broke the record in the Honda Element class a couple weeks ago, so I got my name on the board finally. Took the old.
I didn't know about that. I should watch that.
Yes, sir. I got the Blue Cyclone on the board a couple of weeks ago. Yes, sir. I'm on the board.
All right. You might need to send me a link to that replay.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah. Daniel tried to break it this past weekend, a little turd. Yeah, he was with me working this past weekend. Turned around and look around. He's taking laps around the track. So I was like, Kevin, you better get off of there. But you know, when I talk to fans and that's never been to Hickory, I love watching on the Facebook or on the broadcast. You know, they asked about the character. Everybody talks about the character. You know, ask about this and they said people say the track is a D shaped. It ain't a D shaped, and you start telling them about the back straightaway and you start describing that, and people, I had no idea. So I think it's interesting to hear from a driver's perspective on how you describe that. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, and it never really came to my mind because usually the way we run the track is you get right up to the wall, and you know it's not like a big mile and a half where you stay against the wall for a half mile or so to get to the next corner. So usually we get right up to the wall, and then right when you get there, you turn back down, so you really don't notice it at all.
Right. Yeah, you don't notice it when you're in the car, But if you're out there slow or stand in a corner and look down the track, then you can really see it. So that's just a whole different perspective. So that's just I don't know, it's just something neat. But
yes, for sure. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I got to work the day job this weekend, but as soon as I get done, I am bolting out the door, headed y'all's way on Saturday. So you guys will be there Friday practicing. The practice starts for you guys at 2:30. Then you guys are first, then super late models, and you guys will alternate up until 6:30, and the pits will close at 7 p.m. So I'm sure folks can sneak out there and just hang out, social distance, of course, and watch some practice from 2:30 to 6:30, and the pits will close at 7 p.m. That's on Friday. Or if you're at work, you can check out the what's it called? What's the app called? Transport. You can watch the transponders.
Race monitor.
Yeah, race monitor.
Race
Thank
monitor.
you. Thank you. Race monitor.
We're all going to be studying it very hard.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, we be like drivers. Crew chiefs. We'll all be crew chiefs. And then Saturday, the track activity will start around 10:15 for the folks that need to be there. Trailer, hauler, parking. Garage opens at 10:30. For the folks that need that information. And I want to see you better be at the chapel service at 11:15. I'll ask Pastor Joe if you were there. He better tell me yeah. And
I will be this weekend for sure. Now you put me up to it.
You better be there.
Hopefully the car won't be good. Hopefully the car will be good enough where I don't have to run back and work on it.
That's right. And but I just hope the county, because I know Kevin is working so hard with the county to have fans this week. He's not pushed in you know, he's not pushed them for fans until this week. You know, he's really wanting to have fans for the Cars Tour for this week. So hopefully he can make an announcement later this week and have some fans for this week. So hopefully, if that's the case, the gates open for the fans at 4:30. Qualifying is at 5:15, and green flag drops at 7 o'clock. That's this weekend, August 1st. The Catawba Valley 250, super late models 125, and late model stock cars 125 laps. And the points leader coming in for the late model stock cars is Layne Riggs. And he is, what? I can't see. I'm getting old. I can't see Layne. Plus 9 over Corey Heim, who sat on the pole and won the last race. We were at Hickory. Does that make you nervous? As looking at a possible championship, knowing how important this race could be, the guy in second was pretty stout and pretty fast, sat on the pole, won the race. Does that kind of make you nervous?
I wouldn't say nervous. It's hard to be nervous about anything this early in the season. We're just going to have to be the best we can and make the most of any situation. But Corey's definitely been fast, and I know me and him got into it at Ace and got together, and unluckily he went around, and me and him have talked about it and worked it out. And I went over to him at Hickory at the end of the race when he won, and congratulated him. I was like, I'm just glad to see after what happened, you able to rebound back and get a win. So, and me and him, we race each other respectfully and well, and I always appreciate the way he races me. And like I said, it's going to be Hickory again, and we're going to be back at it, and I'm sure he's going to be there. Well, it's almost guaranteed he's going to be there. So it's definitely one to keep our eyes on. And Lee Pulliam and all his cars have been strong lately, especially Brandon Pierce, the second at Langley. They got something figured out. Yeah, he's going to be rolling in with some momentum. So last time he's been racing there a couple of times, so he's got some notebooks full, some new notes, and trying to get better there. He hadn't had a lot of success there, so he's been really working hard to try to better that, and I think he's finally getting there. So he's starting to ramp it up a little bit, and a lot of confidence off of that great run at the Hampton Heat there. So really glad to see those guys have some success there. So Corey's in second in the points, jumped up 4 spots after
the last race after his victory. Jared Fryer is in third in points. Connor Mozak, who is quietly running in fourth, had a great run after jumping into the tour in the first race. Good qualifying effort. He was in the top 5, I think, in qualifying, running for the Junior Motorsports. So that's his home track. So I know he'll be excited to flex his muscle there. So he'll be mixing it up. And Nolan Pope won a feature a couple of weeks ago, last week I think it was. So he has been a front runner at the Hickory Motor Speedway on the weekly races over the last 3 or 4 races. And so he is going to be one that's going to be coming in to the tour race with a lot of confidence. So expect him to be one to contend with. Bobby McCarty, he's going to be coming in really wanting to flex his muscle because he hadn't had a good front-running effort thus far in the season. So he's wanting to have that. He does have a pole, but he's wanting that victory. That. So Brandon Pierce, the engaged painter, he always runs good at Hickory. Then you got Deke McCaskill, who's still looking for that victory. So that's some of your top points go-getters. So you need to keep running and doing what you're doing to keep those guys behind you. So that's the game plan. I mean, hike, go forward, right?
That's right. We just need to work better so we can sit on poles and lead every lap and not have to worry about it. And then the points can take care of themselves. So once we get to that point, we can relax.
That's right. There you go. Now, you got 2 cars you talked about, not doing a lot of racing. Now, are they 2 of the same cars? Some guys got 2 different types of cars. Both of yours are PRW cars, is that right?
I wish. Our 2 cars are probably the most opposite of any car possible.
Okay.
The one we running this weekend, it's a coilover car. It's got a new 5-star body on it. It's a Hedgecock center section that's probably 2011, and then it's got R&S clips on it from about 2014. And they said that the car was diamond in the center section and will never be fast again. And that's been our most successful car we've had so far. And then the other car is a full PRW car.
Okay.
I think 2012, and it was actually Dylan Bassett's old car.
Okay.
And he had a lot of success with Hickory with that car, but it seems like this coilover car we've ran it more at Hickory and it's been more successful and we have more notes on it, so definitely one we're going to take back.
Hey, whatever. No, when somebody says it ain't gonna be fast again, but if proof is in the pudding and it shows to be the faster car, hey, so what? Let it be fast.
And hey, that's right. Metal. We look at it as metal is metal. If it's still there, and all 4 wheels are pointing straight, it's going to be just as fast as anything else on the track.
With that crazy, goofy track, maybe that's what it needs. Maybe it ain't supposed to be straight to go fast.
Yeah, maybe being crooked makes it go faster. That's right, Doc.
That's right. There's no rhyme or reason. Long as it's fast, maybe it ain't supposed to be straight,
Yep, exactly.
Well,
what we got.
Yeah, that's right. One more thing I want to ask you before I let you go. I know you've been cultivating that mullet for your beach trip. Are you still going to sport the mullet, or is the mullet gone since you've been to the beach?
I tell you, 4th of July, I was rocking it more than anybody else on that beach. But I've been a little lazy and hadn't cut it, and I need to trim it up. But I tell you, the person that's holding me back is the old girlfriend. She hates it. So that's the main thing that's holding me back from getting it cut. But right now, it's just I hadn't touched it, and it's just still flowing in the wind.
Lord, well, I gotta admit, I ain't seen you in a while. I'm still sporting the COVID hairdo. I have not gotten a haircut since the COVID lockdown. And as if everybody knows me, yeah, pretty much. I look like I get up in the morning, I look like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, everybody's laughing because if anybody's been around me since most of the people that have known me since I've been out of the military, I ain't never had my hair long. So I'm just trying something new.
I'm looking forward to seeing you then.
But it's hot. Holy crap. Does it? Oh, it makes it hot though. Whew. I don't know if I
It
can
sure
stand
is.
it though.
Me too.
Man, this old mane. This is like a mane.
Fur coat.
Yeah. All right, brother. All right, man. I know you got a good crew working with you and working on that race car and travels with you. And of course, I know your dad. You got to thank your dad and your sponsors. So let's be sure and hit all the cylinders that are helping you on your car and stuff like that. So let's make sure you hit all those folks and give them some good accolades, because I know it's a team effort.
Yeah, it is for sure. And all our crews stuck with us for a long time, and some of them even were back with Dad back in the day and came back, and they're all volunteer help. So I got to thank them all the main guys that come to the racetrack on the weekend, me and Dad working on the car during the week, and anybody that can come by after their day job. So and then all the sponsors behind us that help fund it: Purdy Tank Lines, Romeo Guest Construction, Chick-fil-A Roxborough Road, Turner Asphalt, Glen Tire Sales, Creech Heating and Air, Brown Brothers Plumbing. They all help us a lot. Jacobs Glass Company. They've been with us for a long time, and I appreciate all their help for sure. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to get back to the track, and hopefully they can see their name going around.
Absolutely, and don't forget, if we can have fans, folks, get out there and support the Hickory Motor Speedway. Kevin and his staff has worked so hard to keep the track running as best they can, to have a place for the guys to race. And they've done, try to provide a place for you to see the races on the Facebook Live. But if they can have the fans for this particular race, folks, get out there and support the track. Support Kevin. He is working as hard as he can to keep the place going. So if they can have fans, folks, support them. Support them as much as you can. And I know these guys, all these racers this coming weekend, the supers and the late model stock cars, they are going to put on a fantastic show, as they do each and every tour stop. But I know at Hickory, no matter when it is, these guys always put on a great show at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Well, Layne, we want to wish you the very best. I am so thrilled for you and your dad and all your crew that you came out of the box flying and are still looking good in the top of the points battle. And I know you're going to be in the thick of it to the very end, and wishing you a good, safe race and continued success, my friend, and looking forward to seeing everybody this coming weekend.
All right, I appreciate you having me on the show, Doc. Yep, definitely looking forward to seeing your afro.
All right. We'll see you this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Hello? I must be going.
Thank you for listening to House Call with Doc Love on Race22.com. Don't forget racing this weekend at the Hickory Motor Speedway with the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour, super late models and late model stock cars. Racing starts at 7 p.m. Can't make it to the track? Be sure and catch them on carstour.tv or pitrow.tv. Thank you for listening to House Call with Doc Love on Race22.com. Until next time, we'll see you at the races.
I must be